In a sport that never stops moving, even MMA junkies can struggle to keep up with all the latest headlines. If you missed any of Wednesday's biggest news, let us catch you up to date with The Comeback.
It seems like we've been talking about it ever since it happened almost 4 weeks ago, and now it's official that we can keep talking about it for the next 3 or so months. Conor McGregor will get another chance against Nate Diaz. After Stockton's finest tapped out the most notorious Irishman in the game in the UFC 196 main event, McGregor will get a shot at revenge in the UFC 200 headliner. The UFC set the fight for July 9th at the new T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, and you can bet the company brass are banking on another massive audience for the rematch. What does Diaz-McGregor 2 at UFC 200 mean for someone like Frankie Edgar, who isn't getting a featherweight title shot against McGregor? Well, we now know that it means he's getting an interim title shot against former champ Jose Aldo at the same event, and that the winner is going to go on to fight McGregor to unify the titles. No matter what happens with McGregor against Diaz, UFC President Dana White says Conor will defend his 145-pound belt against the Aldo-Edgar winner. Now, when it comes to this Diaz-McGregor rematch, Diaz had something interesting to say. Remember when George St-Pierre was just innocently hanging out at UFC 196 watching McGregor and Diaz go at it? Diaz says his upset of McGregor spoiled the UFC's plan to have Conor and GSP matched up in St-Pierre's comeback fight, even though Dana White denied after the event that there were any discussions about the Canadian returning and that he was just at UFC 196 as a fan.
There was no plan to have, other people were asking me tonight, was he going to call out George, or that was never a plan.
You think we're done talking about UFC 200? Not even close, bud. We've got a couple other great fights now on the bill too. Joe Lozon and Diego Sanchez will fight at lightweight nearly 2 years after they were first scheduled to meet, and Johnny Hendricks and Kelvin Gastelum will put their weight-cutting abilities to the test in a welterweight fight on the card. Wednesday wasn't all good news in the MMA world though. Former light heavyweight champion and upcoming UFC 197 headliner John Jones remains jailed in Albuquerque, New Mexico, awaiting a court date today for violating his probation. Is his UFC 197 main event rematch with champ Daniel Cormier in jeopardy? We should know a lot more later today. And that's the comeback for Thursday, March 31st. For more on the latest news in MMA, including stories from the stars of UFC 198 in Brazil, check out MMAJunkie.com.